Howdy, howdy, everybody. Welcome, welcome. How y'all doing today? Um, so, got more dual universe today, and the big shakeup is the core slots. I think that stacked elements is something important too, but the what seems to really be the passionate thing for people is the core changes and or the proposed core changes that are coming up. And I think that that there is well, the too long didn't read version is that this is an alpha type change, and that is why everybody is so upset over it. And and the here's the thing, is that if we had been from the start with these kind of limitations, we wouldn't think of anything of it. We wouldn't think anything of it. But since we are deep into beta, closer to release than we are to alpha, and this being an alpha type change, it's quite shocking to people. And the truth of it is that there probably is, I'm sure there's good reason as to why they need to do this. It's, I'm sure, performance based or cloud server cost based type of thing. And here's what is through the original vision of the game and the and how the game was conceived to be. The game was very much conceived to be like a giant Minecraft server multiplayer in space, and people were going to be able to build these fantastical things, and and to do that, they've come up with all kinds of ways to handle that. Well, the truth of it is how much CPU time does this take? How much, back-end resources does this take? What does it actually cost to operate in dollars in the real world? Well, when JC conceived of all of this stuff, he was not limiting himself on those types of things. And that is how innovation happens. Because if somebody comes in and says, I want to build this type of game and everything, and somebody who's a veteran in the game industry says, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. And that is that is how why we get a lot of games that are the same. And then, like this with Dual Universe, this is how we have, it's really gone many steps beyond what any video game professional would allow. And for that reason, there's a lot of innovation that's happened in here, but at the same time, it causes a lot of issues. And those issues come back on us, the players. And so even though we're getting closer to launch, and we have a sweeping change like this of reducing the number of cores, and it's painful, I get it. The only thing, so they've painted themselves into a corner, or some of the previous people at Dual Universe have painted everybody into the corner. And now they have to work their way out, and it requires walking through some wet paint. And so, that's just kind of the short of it. but this is um, this is this is tough, and I think that there's one thing that I disagree with about how they present some of these things, and that is that I feel like whoever's making these things up is either not playing the game enough or they lack compassion for the players. And when I say that, the the things like this core problem, of having to reduce the number of cores, I get it. I get why. But they don't have any upside to it. Okay, so the orgs can go from whatever number of cores up to 1600 and something. But the way that works, it's going to be really hard to get all of those cores to the the org, and then they're going to have to work to keep them, and that leaves an unsettledness. Like if I'm operating a giant org, fourth largest in the game, and we had 1,000 structures, and then that would require all of you to commit like at least 3 or 4 of your structure slots to the org. And then for some reason the org is not doing so well, or we're in a slump, or Marky gets sick and he's out for a month and people drop out, which is what really happens in real life. And then all of a sudden portions of the structures of the org start disappearing because they've gone abandoned, because the numbers were lowered. And that causes quite a bit of stress, or a work style management that has to happen, much like the auto miner stuff. All they did was give us work in the game, a job, and we're not playing this for a job. We're playing this game to get away from our job. See, there's a big difference there. And the I don't know. I just want Nova Quark to be a bit smarter about these things. For example, so they upped for the cores, and we're going to read the patch notes in detail, but I just want to get through these thoughts here. And before I, thank anybody for subs or welcome anybody to the show, because this shit's important. And so if we have any devs watching, I would like to say that there are some things that I think may not be too hard to do to help alleviate this core problem. And so if you want to reduce the number of cores, instead of it just being a nerf, let's give us some sort of offset. The offset can meet the goals of having a lower number of cores at the same time as players will not have to reduce their number of cores very much, unless they are on the upper end. Like me, I have, 50 ships. So now, in that example of 50 ships, I'll be over my limit. And because I'm going to be over my limit, I'm going to have to give some stuff up. And so, what do I give up? Do I give up my home base here? Do I give up this manufacturing plant, this one? Do I give up this building over here that houses auto miners and is the base for 2 more ships that are elevators? Do I give up my ships that are over here? How about this one that's way back here? How about this one that's flying over here, what do I have to give up? And so one of the easy things for those of you that played like Ultima Online, do you remember that because you had pets in the game and you would tame a horse or whatnot and you'd be able to ride it around? Well, you'd tame that horse or another creature, but you had to maintain it. It had to be fed. It had to be loved or whatever. Otherwise, it would go wild again. And so what would you do? You'd go to the stable and you would stable your pet. And it might cost you a little bit or whatnot, but you would put your pet in the stable, and then the pet would stay in the stable in its same condition for for however long until you pulled it back out again. Okay, so why not give us the ability to take one of our cores here and build a thing that looks like a giant elevator or whatnot, for a car park, and allow us to stable our ships. So all of these extra ships that we have, I give up one core to be able to stable multiple cores within it. They're then unloaded from the game environment, thus reducing the number of cores. There is still the data there of them, so there's going to be database space or whatnot, but they're not going to be in the live environment. And I use probably 5 or 6 of my ships very, very regularly, and I have some others that I don't use very regularly. In fact, I have 10 ships that I'm waiting to take apart, and that maybe I should start doing that today. But because I'm going to build new versions of them. Well, so if I build new versions of them, I guess I'm only going to build a couple. But if we were able to stable our ships, park them, put them into storage or whatever, and to make it so that they don't compact, because like the compacting that goes into your pack, that's for just those little ships, and that is that is nice and everything. You're able to transport it from place to place. Well, you don't want players to be able to transport giant ass ships to other places, so you make it that it only works on a static core, and maybe there'll be some different sizes. Maybe there'll be one for extra small ships, and maybe it can be backwards compatible. Maybe you have to build one of each because you need one of each, but they can all fit on the same core. Anyway, something like that would be a really great offset, as opposed to this genocide of our cores. Actually, I shouldn't use that word. That is the wrong word. I apologize for saying that. That's not the right word. Except, the removal of these cores. And it's a huge nerf. And I use that other word because I felt like, they're being killed off. And that's really a horrible example, and I apologize again for that. But you are taking something away from me that I love very dearly, my ships. And that is part of the premise of the game. And so we need to come up with a different solution. And my suggestion to Nova Quark would be that if this is a problem and you need people to reduce, let's start at 100. Seriously. Let's start at 100 and start paring down from there. Next release, it can go down to 75. Maybe you can release the first iteration of the ship parking, the stabling, and then get down to 50 and then to 25. Gives people plenty of time to plan. It gives people a nice long roadmap. it gives them options, and I believe that the community, before we get down to 25, could come up with more options to meet your needs. NovaQuark, please explain why you want to make this change. Because we have a lot of really smart players, and these smart players may give you ideas that goes beyond what you have thought of, and they may be able to be implemented. And so if we take a little bit more time on this and some work for like the stabling thing, which I don't think should be too hard. It's very similar to compacting, except you put it into another structure. And, you know, do this, and I think it'll be a lot more widely accepted, and then people can get their head around how this is all going to work with giving core assignments to the orgs. So our org is not going to be asking for core assignments, I don't think, the Dragon's Assembly. I think all of you are going to keep your own. We might put a few in or whatnot. I know that myself personally, so I know that many of you have multiple accounts. So you create your own org, you put all your cores, extra cores into those, and, you know, you build it up that way. So I have 10 accounts, and, you know, so if it's 25 per that I can submit to my own personal org, well, then I have 250 slots or whatever. So, yeah, and so anyway, that is that's kind of my thoughts on this whole thing about the core reduction, and and I do want to go through in detail what they've said here in the dev blog, and so I do want to thank everybody. Welcome. Sorry about my rant right at the start, and I think that, well, let's just go through this, and then we'll take it from there. So, you know, please go and suggest to the devs, which I have already done, but you know, I don't know how far it goes, especially Pan is gone. Pan's last day was yesterday. Pan was my champion, meaning that she would take things that I told her were very, very important to the community, and she would make sure they were escalated up the chain. And so I still have contacts, you know, within the company, of course, but they are, instead of working through the proper channels up to affect change, my other contacts are at the top, and then things get pushed down, and it's the wrong way to do it. It's the wrong way. It's not the best way for me to suggest things, because then it comes down as commands instead of going up as ideas. And when it comes down as commands, obviously, you know, the top people in the company give commands to the people who work for them, but it's always better if it comes up organically and naturally, as opposed to being told, do this. It just goes over better. So anyway, I see you guys talking about and Pan left because she was made an offer that she could not refuse from a friend of hers who is got a new company that is part of it is in the video game entertainment industry. They made her a great offer, and she just couldn't turn it down. So it's really good for her. It's a loss for us, but it's very, very good for her. And I'm happy for her. I've been friends with Pan for more than 20 years now. We first met in Ultima Online, and so anyway, I hope that somebody can step up and take her place, but they'll never have the quick wit that cuts us down so hilariously like Pan. She'd come in, insult the crap out of you, and you walk away laughing. You know, it's one of those special types of things. We loved the abuse that Pan gave us. Anyway, so where was I going? What, I guess we're going to do this, and the people who are right now removing cores. Hey, fine, if you want to do that now so you don't have to stress about it, I say wait. I say wait. Because you can come up with a plan, but I say wait because the feedback that they have gotten has been so harsh on this that my expectation is that they're going to walk it back some. And that's just because that's their pattern. Not that it's right, it's their pattern. So have a plan for the stuff you're going to take down. They're going to give you at least 2 weeks to take the stuff down. But don't, I wouldn't act on it yet. If I had some stuff that I was going to deconstruct anyway, well, then I may as well do it now. Why not? But I'm not going to take anything that I value down at this point. And also the cores. What about our auto miners on our tiles? Those each take a core. And I'm like thinking to myself, damn, one person can run 20 of those. They each take a core. Yeah, maybe they should make the auto miner stuff not count or something. I don't know. I certainly don't want to spread out all my manufacturing and put it with each mining plant and have to walk around tile to tile. So Rick says, I'm still going to consolidate using all L cores, more load on the server than small cores, but only gets loaded when I enter them. Yes, I know, I thought about that too. I thought about Gotchar and his mega factories and everything, that they're so big that you have super lag whenever you enter his factory. And in fact, people the first time there, they crash and everything. You have to enter in multiple times to get it all cached up. And so I thought about that, and I'm like thinking to myself, okay, well, I could build this and all of this on a single core and reduce the cores. But then again, that makes it so that like when I'm giving away this right here for people to do manufacturing, and I then would have to consolidate everything into one, and then I'd have to give them the other thing, and then imagine the amount of stuff that would be required for them to rebuild the whole thing. It becomes very unpractical. So you never crashed at Gottmart? I wasn't talking about Gottmart. I was talking about his factory. Deluxe, go to his factory. And that's where shit gets real. So I don't know how many he has. I think he has over 1,000 machines running. And so you abandoned about 30 cores on Jago yesterday? You just abandoned them. Really? Yeah. He has 79,000 elements. Oh my God. Yeah, see? That's crazy. So yeah. So I have some stuff here on Jago, and I don't see any tiles abandoned, but Garth, you just abandoned a bunch of cores. All right. Well, he has over 8,000 machines running. Yeah. So, okay. Let's go over this stuff here. So, This is from NQ Wanderer. Tale of two stackings that were never meant to be. Nested organizations and overlapping elements on ships. Both have been problematic. I'd like to give you an update on the steps we're taking to correct them. Organization construct slots. Several months ago, we suggested a way to address the issue of cascading organizations being created as a way to circumvent the soft limitations of construct and territory numbers. Huh. I wonder if this meets the goal of actually trying to do that. Players raised some valid concerns about the proposal, citing it would adversely affect how they manage their organization's holdings. In consideration of the feedback, we temporarily tabled the proposed changes and went back to the drawing board. The problem remains and needs to be resolved sooner rather than later to avoid a myriad of issues in the future. DU simply can't support an infinite number of constructs per player. Well, I've never played that way. I'm a power player. I mean, shit. Okay. If it is CPU and resource time, then why don't we just do like Eve does? Eve has one account, you pay for that one account. Well, you want to train on a second character? Oh, you buy a multiple character training token. It costs nearly as much as the account itself monthly, and you can do as many as 3 of those. So just sell us more slots. Come out with your DAC and then allow us more construct slots by selling them to us. I mean, what's going to happen now is there's some people who are going to say, okay, well, I got a way around that. I'm going to buy, pay for another couple of accounts. By the way, ! Coupon, get them from us, support the show, have my thanks and gratitude, yada, yada, yada. So maybe people are going to do that by having more accounts. But if we get the DAC system in, which I don't think is scheduled to come out until after launch. But basically it's just like the Eve Plex system. Like you can buy Plex from our store. You'll be able to buy DAC in the future from our store. You take that DAC, you put in the code, it gives you these DAC credits in the game, or they're just called DAC. And then those can be used to fund your account, your subscription. They can also be used to sell on the market, where other players who have a lot of money in game but don't have a lot of money in real life can then buy those and then convert them into their subscription so they can play for free. And so why not have, that, okay, you got 25 cores, you want 50? All right, that'll be an extra 10 DAC per month to maintain that, and do it that way. That way, if it's a CPU cost or a cost of a cloud cost, then it can cover that, and then people can decide how they want to do it. They can decide right now and say, screw it, I'm not getting rid of all my extra stuff. And so they start another couple of accounts and then they do that. But not everybody has that option. And, if the DAC system isn't very far away, then maybe that's a good way to get this going. We do have a lot of people that have a lot of time to play in the game and are really good at making money in the game. And many of them are retired and stuff. So I'm sure they're looking forward to that. And it would probably allow them to have, it would allow them essentially to spend more per account. Even though they're not spending money, they're spending other people's money. But that's how that system works. Okay, so the problem remains and needs to be resolved rather than later to avoid a myriad of issues in the future. DU simply can't support an infinite number of constructs per player. It's why we have construct allowances in the first place. We need a solution that would support community projects for organizations of any size without penalizing those that are prolific. After all, did you know that I was executive producer in a film called Prolific? Just saying. You can look it up on IMDb. After all, it was about a guy who had a ton of kids. Yeah, he was prolific. Off topic. After all, one of the core features of DU is to build lots of cool stuff. The new way, the solution we've designed will detach construct capacity rights from organizations and put them directly into the player's hands. So, wouldn't storage in a garage also put into a database? Yes, maybe. Yeah, there's another issue with the game here. See, there's a reason why, like EVE Online is not on cloud. They built their own cloud, is because it is infinitely cheaper than using Amazon Cloud or Microsoft Azure. And they do have some stuff on cloud, but they have their own data centers. And while they put a lot of money into those data centers, because it's a lot of infrastructure cost, up front, in the long term, it's much more cost effective for them to run their own stuff. And that is one of the things here that Dual Universe is very effect to, like if AWS says, by the way, we're raising all the rates by 15% because of inflation, that could eat all of their margin. Well, that could even be upside down right now in their cloud costs. And then they're upside down by another 15%. And so having this stuff on cloud is very, very expensive. This is why the game Crowfall, which is also cloud-based, has your Eternal Kingdoms. They have to spin up. And only the owners or those who signed rights can spin them up, because it takes dollars to run them. And so that is, the reality of it. And now another game which has taken another tact on this is Shroud of the Avatar. Shroud of the Avatar is also a pseudo cloud-based game. When I say pseudo, it's because while their database resides on, single set of servers, the CPU time of all of it resides with all of the players on their clients. And so when you are playing, you are also providing validation of transactions for like 10 other players at the same time. And so it's very blockchain type. It's like an early version of blockchain, to where all of these things are validated, but it's a lot quicker. And so that offloads the CPU time and this compute time onto the clients. And so even if you're just sitting idle in the game, you are computing for other players. And that allows them to have just a few servers, which they're not doing theirs in the cloud. They do theirs in a colo, and it allows them to keep their costs lower. They may have painted themselves into a corner on this and can only be on cloud. It might be too big of a shift in the way of thinking to implement some of these other solutions. So, one problem of cheap game costs is no one playing due to limits. Yeah, there has to be a way to do this, and that's what they're searching for. So, okay, the solution we've designed will detach construct capacity rights from organizations and put them directly into the player's hands. Organizations will now have a base construct capacity of 0. Wow. I don't even know how many constructs I have in my personal org. In our Dragon's Assembly org, we have 3 or 4. So we'll be able to cover those okay. And that's like warp beacon structures and stuff. So we'll figure out how to cover those. It shouldn't take too many slots. And then we have some ships that are under Dragon's Assembly as well, and we'll have to figure those out, and we'll either move them off or destroy them. Like I have a bunch of those little dragon ships, and maybe we should just give them away, and something like that. But we don't need to take up the numbers with that. So actually, they can all be compacted. I wonder if I can just compact them all on one character. Well, I'll figure it out. The reasoning behind this is to no longer make it a viable option to create countless organizations simply to increase the capacity of constructs available. This will now depend on the next item on the list. Each Novian will have 15 assignable organization construct slots with an additional 10 from talents. So we can have 25 that are assignable to organizations. This change allows us to scale the maximum number of constructs to a number of players. This can be beneficial to smaller organizations because players can assign these slots to any organization of their choosing, whether or not they are a member of the organization. We hope to see players use their available organization construct slots to support their organization and help support the community projects they like. For those who want to support a different organization, Novians can reassign their slots from one organization to another, though this will cause a former organization to lose construct capacity. This was what I was talking about, the stress of this, to do this. Now, I also, well, let's read here, because I've got another thought here. This means that an organization that loses capacity will either need to acquire new slots from players in order to support the infrastructure or reduce its number of constructs. If an organization has more constructs than its allowed slots for 2 weeks, the organization will receive a warning. If the organization does not either reduce its construct count to below its new allocated slots or increase the slot count for 2 weeks after the warning, random constructs from the organization will become abandoned and lose ownership. At that point, any player or organization who has the necessary allotment of construct slots may claim it. The system allows us to maintain a balance in terms of expected constructs present. Furthermore, to prevent players from trying to circumnavigate the system by assigning constructs back and forth every 2 weeks, there'll be a minimum of 30 days before you can assign a slot away from an organization. Okay, so now I saw Blazemonger saying that that we were able to actually have like 42 or 47 total per player. Because I think those organization ones, if you don't assign them to an organization, you get to use them for yourself. It's not like they 17 personal, 25 org. Okay, so and so I haven't seen where it says 17 personal yet, but maybe it's in here. And so the personal ones, okay, fine. It allows you to, you know, have, we have 17 personal now. That's not changing. But aren't there skills to increase that? Yeah. All right. Using your talents. Many of you likely use talents to increase your organization's construct capacity. Yes, I have 2 characters that have done this. Talents will still play a role as they provide an upper ceiling for the single organization's capacity. However, these talents have been increased in their capacity, which allows for a single organization to have a far higher construct slot maximum. Where the old maximum was 275 constructs, the new upper limit will be 1625. As these changes significantly increase the scale at which these talents previously applied, these talents will be reset at the 0.28 Panacea release. Organization Construct Management, Organization Construct Management Specialization, and Advanced Organization Construct Management Specialization. So I have all three of those on one of my characters maxed out, and then I have some of it on another character. So I guess I'll be getting those refunded. We try and limit the resetting of talents as much as we can. However, due to the considerable changes, the way these talents now behave and scale, we feel that refunding these talents is required. So I don't know that that's being is that being replaced with anything? I guess it's being replaced with the personal stuff. I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to see how that works out. So anyway, the so I'll be taking my 10 characters in my org, and I'm going to be applying nearly all of their available, spots, and training up or whatever. Take all their available spots and assign it to my personal org, and then that's going to give me what, 250? Obviously, most people do not have 10 accounts. Most people have one, maybe two. So, yeah. Hmm. Yeah. All right. So, um, this fresh new UI thing. So this just goes over the UI for being able to look at these changes, get the numbers of how many constructs you have, and is panacea really, is that the definition of panacea? A solution or remedy for all difficulties? Are you serious? Did I miss solution or remedy for all difficulties or diseases? Holy cow. Why didn't we all figure that out at the beginning of this? They're infecting us. Oh my God. They're forcing us to get a vaccine. It's the most tone deaf name for an update ever. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Well, hopefully they don't remedy themselves out of existence, because that will become the term that is used around the world to describe what happened in Nova Quark. Panacea. Yeah. All right. So they did mention the meaning of the word in one of the original dev blogs. Okay. Well, I missed that. So, how ironic. That was forebodance. Did any of you watch Survivor, the American version of Survivor, the last season? There was this one woman on there who, every time she told a lie, when she was walking away, she would whistle this tune. And this tune was basically like, I lied right to your face tune. And and so it was a tell that nobody picked up on during the shows. And yeah, the preacher. Yeah, she was a preacher. And so, maybe that has to do with her ethics of being a preacher and everything. It's like, I lied, but I'm telling you I lied. And then whistle her tune as she walks off. She even did it in the middle of groups sometimes. Other people are talking and she'd start whistling it because she had just been the one to talk before. And she was totally telling everybody, hey, look at me. I just lied to you. And I'm not saying that Nova Quark's lying, but it's just kind of like that same thing of like, oh, hey, we named this update Panacea. It means cutting off a leg. Because it's diseased, even though you want to keep it. That's kind of funny. That's kind of funny. I think that I think that whoever at Nova Quark came up with that name for this, that is the wrong tone. That is the absolute wrong tone to take. And when somebody said they were tone deaf, 100%, 100% tone deaf on that. Yeah. So, yeah, they're not lying, but yeah, it's just kind of funny because the yeah, I anyway, yeah, wow. I guess we like the brutal truth. Yep. Oh my. Okay, so they're talking about some other stuff here too, where you'll be able to have JSON strings come back from these different things, which I guess means that like a programming board or something like that can grab this information, and so and okay, so in the disabling overlapping elements, they really need to figure out this before they publish this, because I kid you not, I have ships that nothing is overlapping and it still gives me an overlapping warning from time to time, on and off, and people are talking about that they have stuff that was overlapping, they fix it, and then the next time they fly it, it's fine. The time after that, it says stuff's overlapping again. And so they really need to fix this before they deploy this, because if they deploy this, hello Wreck Bear, if they deploy this, then and it has this odd behavior, it's gonna just be a shitstorm. So because nobody can figure out how to make their ships work right. So, and so the UEF store ones also overlap. Yes, they should really stop selling them right now and replace them with ones that they know are going to work, because new players come in and they buy one of those ships from the UEF store, and then in 2 weeks or whenever this patch comes out, they're going to be disabled. So, yeah, I don't know. All right, and they want feedback. Believe me, they have gotten feedback. You should go give yours. So, yes, sirree. Okay. All right, so let's see here. What am I connected to? I am connected to this. All right, so let me check my machines going on here. See how we're doing on everything. Oh, I need some more pyrite. And petalite's fine. Actually, that petalite will last me for like many, many months. That's fine. Natron. Oh, I don't have very much left. Okay. Malachite. That's fine. I want to keep this thing running. Limestone. All right. Some more in there. All right, and then these others. Yeah, okay, I'll come back around to that. So, good. I am now manufacturing at pretty much full capacity here. And so, this is good. And I think that I've got all of my issues cleared up on manufacturing. I had some blockages after I rebuilt this, and it was really because I was putting too many items in particular containers that contained multiple items. And so normally I separate them out so that doesn't happen, so that they're just in a container and it'll draw from 3 containers. But the way this was set up was different. This is the original Shamsi version. I might talk to him about it. I accidentally redeployed with DRM, and so I can't make any more copies of it. But I defined everything, I linked everything, I labeled everything, and have it all running. And maybe he'd like to update his with this. I don't know. So, anyway, looks like everything's running good. And this one is probably just waiting. Yeah, it's full. All right, basic LEDs. Yep, it's just waiting because it's produced enough. All right, so feel good about that. Okay, now let's see here. I do want to, oops, I didn't quite make my jump all the way. Factory's running good. We're gonna set this in there, and then I'm gonna do one other thing that I'm gonna set in there. I'm gonna just use that as a temporary box. Okay. Alright, so into the fuel. I have fuel warp cells. And then elements. I got 9 of those. I need 11 for a stack. Those are stacks of 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I need 11 more for a stack. So I need 2 more. Because I like to do a whole stack at once. And not just, you know, kind of. Because it's hard to align them up and get them perfect, but if I'm doing it as a whole stack, then it's a lot easier. So I think I only have 1 free at the moment. No, I have none free. Okay. So, and I'm going to need some more because I have aluminum, carbon, and iron figured out. Silicon, I need more space. Carbon fiber honeycomb, plastic honeycomb, steel honeycomb, and stainless steel honeycomb. I think there's stainless steel, isn't there? I don't know. Something told me I needed to make that. So, see limits on containers per account coming? Oh my god. Really? You think so? Holy cow, that would be scary. So let's look at this character here. So I've got I'm working on this, and I've got 5,400. So I'm working on making at least 5,000 of each, and that's glossy carbon. And so gray carbon panel, and then I look in here and I see I have none. Okay, so I go to production, and we're going to do another run of 12. Okay, so I let that go, and then let's hook up to an ore. So just linked container. Doesn't seem to use very much the aluminum, although I may have stuffed it full of some other stuff, you know, stuffed it full of aluminum, pure. See, that's full. That's full. Alright, those are all full. And then these just get deleted, but there's not very much in there. That one has a bit. Alright, how far away are we? I mean, I think these take like 12 hours to make, some crap like that. 2 hours remaining. This has been working for 5 days, 97% efficiency. So, yeah, it takes a long time. So it won't be till tomorrow before I can make that second stack. Quartz is what it sucks the most of. We're making these. Alright, that's a nice finely tuned machine. It's working well. By the way, the factory here for containers, you can get it here. It's 50K for, it's just double what the cost is. It costs 25K to make the blueprint. It's just 50K. It's limit 1 per person. So eventually maybe I'll have the warp cell ones. I don't know. I gotta get Shams to make me a new core blueprint because I messed up. So. All right, so now, I think what else I need to do here. I also have this guy who's running, he's got a load of stuff. He's got honeycomb. You messaged him, he'll catch up with me, yeah. So, yeah, I need to communicate with him directly. That's what I need to do, other than having a bunch of other people, you know. So, yeah. And, so, yeah, and I'm only running one of those, the EXL container things. I suppose I could put another, no, I don't have another blueprint. Because really, I have the need for them right now, but if I just let that thing keep running, when I need more, they'll be ready for me. So, no need to go and spend a whole bunch more. So, all right. So the next thing here, so I've got carbon, and then this Tier 1 honeycomb, I have a bunch more of it coming. So this is linked container. And then we go to iron honeycomb here. And go to iron here, and let's do it A to Z. And so can't do all of it because it'll never fit. WhatsApp status, I have not stopped playing Eve, no. I've just been playing this a lot more. But I think next Tuesday I have on the schedule for Eve. We also have a big giveaway for Eve on that day. So aged iron, and then black pattern iron. There's not enough of these to have to do just a certain amount of the stack. Just grab a bunch at once. Yep, all the rest of these. There's only one iron that there's too much of. Why don't I try Star Citizen? Why don't they try releasing a game I'm honestly waiting for them to come out with the game. So it's not quite the game yet. Right, silicon honeycomb. Oh, do I even have any capacity on this? I do, just a little bit, not full capacity. So I don't have very much silicon in here. Okay. It's going to take me a while to build all of this stuff. Yeah, when it's a game, then I'll be happy to play. I have an hour one Kickstarter account. God, selecting multiples is hard. I have an hour one Kickstarter account that, like, the first hour the Kickstarter was up, I paid. I've logged into the game once just to kind of look around. Now I'm waiting for the game. I want to play it, but I don't have much faith that they're actually going to get it done. All right. So these don't have any storage capacity. Is stainless steel a thing? Stainless steel honeycomb? I actually don't know if it is or not. So these all need 2 It is, yes, that's what I thought. That's why I put that in there. All right. The majority of workforce and budget in Star Citizen went to a single player game, and I did not pay for work on a single player game. I paid for the MMO. All right, so these need 2 containers each of the large containers. So let's see here. These, if I need more, I can put down more. Oh, those, okay, so it's just these. So 2 more. I got this measured out of 3 of the EXL and 2 of the larges will equal enough to have 6,000 of each of the other stuff. So, all right. So now we can do carbon fiber. All of these, and then this one we're doing just 6,000. That one actually might be the most the matte black carbon fiber. That is a very dark, non-glossy look, and it's great for roadways, runways, and stuff like that. It looks, you know, really primo for that. So that might end up being quite popular. And I have not figured out the pricing on those yet. So I don't know what they're going to be. All right, so plastic. And I have a lot of plastics. I have a lot of sample sizes here. We were testing stuff. That's why there's a whole bunch of 180s. I can take all of it. Okay. I actually am probably going to need to set up a few more things too, because I have a ton of chromium honeycomb, but I'm probably not going to get into production of that quite yet. But I have a lot of it. Right, steel. Okay, none of these say stainless, do they? No. These steels are beautiful, some of them. Some of them are absolutely gorgeous, some of these polished steels. All right, and then we have the stainless steel, which I don't have any of that. We have wood. Oh, goodness, wood. Damn. So, what? Hit that extra button. So, I wonder if I just, I don't know, how much further do I want to break all this out? So if I go to the T1 honeycomb here, and this is all the extras, and I still have 4 million stuff in here. And then I've got the tier 2 honeycomb plus. Yeah, it's going to be... I'm probably going to have to build another console or, you know, area to manage these, because there's just a lot of different stuff here, and you know, I've got this out through sulfur, so it'd be tier 3. So we're going to need several more machines here. I think I needed to buy the machines. And until I get production costs down on certain things, I'm probably not going to be doing them. So I'm not... I kind of want to be at the 5 level. So, all right, so this guy is still doing stuff here. And so that's the carbon panel. And then here's the iron. So I've got the iron full now. And so we can go to schematic selection and then aged iron, apply that, and then we look in the container and we look in the outbox and it says that there's 1060. So I'm going to need like 10 of that one in order to bring it up over 5,000. Get that started. So I can run multiple of these at a time. And then this one. Selection aged silicon. I bet you I have a ton of this. Look in the container, and yes, I've got that. And then black silicon panel. So I'm just going through these in alphabetical order, kind of looking this way. Okay, it says that we don't really have any in there. We have half of one. And so, all right. So 12 of them will get us over 5,000. Go. Yep, and then we're not doing these others at the moment. So, and I finished all of the aluminum one. That one's all done. So now just a matter of, I guess, making sure that they have the product that they need, and then I'll be good on that. Well, that's still making fuel. In the pure box here. Let's see here. Fuel pure. Okay, that we have enough. Chromium. Some more in there. Copper we have enough. Sodium is pretty much out. Oh, and we have a lot there. All right. Thinking of changing the fuel stuff here to manufacture 2 million of each, and then I sell off the overage. That's what I've been thinking of. It's not at full capacity. Is this my guy for making fuel? No. I wonder who started those machines. Who is my fuel character? Happens to be my same as my honeycomb character. I didn't realize. Let's see here. That'll make a difference. I wonder who I started those machines with. If it was this character or not, if I'm being the most efficient. Well, that's kind of a scary thought, isn't it? And nothing in rocket fuel. I haven't been making my own rocket fuel. Is there anything else with fuel that price war going on at the moment? Yeah, well, I would price it appropriately for making profit, and then if it doesn't sell, I just won't sell any. But the markets sell out and then they come back and they buy again, you know. Let's see here. How do I know what all is required for making fuel? Like, I all of a sudden have the question of, okay, am I really being the most efficient? I don't know. What? There's no schematic in here for this? What? Are you serious? How did I do that? Filter on? No? Didn't have one. But I've got fuel in here. I must have made it someplace else. Oh, I don't even have T3 fuel in here. Or T4. Oh, okay. Well then, I haven't made any, have I? Well then. Alright, I'll have to remedy that. So this... Does it tell who started it? $91,375. It's the same stats. So I set that one to 2 million now. Missing input components. Okay. Right. We're all up and running again. Except for one of them, which apparently I don't have the schematic for. Didn't even realize I was missing it. Right. So back over to the honeycomb stuff. Basically what I'll do is I'll figure out what the cost is on all of that and go from there, you know. I'll show some dar. Figure out what I should put it on the market at, and then I'll put it there and we'll see what happens. The markets go up and down, things get sold out and everything, and then sometimes people want particular fuel type for whatever reason and they're willing to pay more when others are cheaper. So yeah, people like things to be the same. Like if they're always using X4 fuel, they just want to continue using X4 fuel everywhere. So all right, let's see here. Let's connect up to this. And then refill any of these that need refilling. Look at that. All right. So I am going to have to build. So I've got steel and I've got plastic. We're going to need wood and stainless steel and carbon fiber. I mean, maybe I don't need to get ahead of myself, but oh, look at that, how that shadow up there from that up there. Huh. Kind of a little creepy. Well, I'm happy with how the factories are running. So they're running pretty good. I'm just thinking about stuff with like the tearing stuff down. Got a couple ships here to tear down. I have a couple more ships that I want to build. I actually have multiples of these ships different places. So if we're going to be removing, you know, stuff, I'm going to have to remove some of the some of these ships. I was already planning on removing them, so it's not like too big of a deal. Connect up to the sort box, and then I'm going to take those two ships apart. So it just has some overflow in it. So we can unload a little bit of that. That's just as full as it's going to get. I can't add any more containers to that. I'd have to break that out into a separate deal. I thought about, so somebody suggested that I take another set of containers for the extra, and that I then have like some transfer units or whatever, and then I just fill those other ones, and these will always be full. I guess it could automate it and it'd save a little bit of time, but at the same point, I don't know. These are a couple of ships by Apocalypse, and they've been really good ships. They don't fit shields. These ones need shields. Yep. So, and I have some blueprints for the new ones. So be able to reuse a lot of the parts. I wonder, Apocalypse, the other ones, blueprints for, do they have any colliding elements? I don't know. No? Alright, good. These have been really good ships. I never got one of them shot up, I don't think. Not of these. Or maybe did I get one of them shot up? I don't even remember now. Okay, well. Here goes nothing on pulling it apart. I wish there was a deconstruct. Park in the pipe. That's an auto destruct, not deconstruct. Kind of funny without all of its stuff. Didn't get all of that? I thought I did. Damn. Is there stuff down there that I'm not seeing? What am I keying off of here? Am I keying off of nothingness? Right. I think that is pretty much all of it. Control and select giant area. Oh, yeah, maybe in this instance that might be a little bit better. Yeah, in other instances I am not a fan of that. So, all right. Gray carbon panel. Should have enough there now. Yep. Okay. Green carbon panel. None. Let's check out the other ones here. See how they're doing. 2 left on that. 5 left on that. Okay. Taken the fuel out yet. Quality of life on a deconstruct all button. God, that'd be so good. Okay. Let's see here. Let's get that fuel out of these. Right. Sure was a thing of saying just ignore it and collect it anyway. You know, an optional checkbox there. Oh, just some more. Some more. Yeah. Says no. Target construct not empty. Oh, all right. I see it. Ah, one down. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay, this one is aged iron. I got enough in there. Aged gray pattern iron. Got that. Okay. Black iron panel. Done. Right. That. Is this one done yet? Nope. Still has a few left to process. Yeah, I'm deconstructing the old version. Yeah. All right, we'll use the block stuff to remove. I had put all these extra brakes on the outside. I had a requirement that at full capacity, they had to be able to stop within 2 SU. So that's why it was the way it was. Something here real quick. Checking to see if they have anything they need of me for the mortgage stuff, buying the house. They ended up asking a lot more of me yesterday. It's crazy. Oh, how does this work? On this one? There it is. Yeah, the house purchase stuff is going okay. I'm acting as my own buyer agent, though. And it certainly has given me some challenges. Potentially can save me 3% on the house doing that. But, you know, there's risks I could make mistakes too. I think I'm good though. All right, I think I got all of it. Now, if there was just a wide net to recover elements too, that'd be nice. Certainly had a lot of brakes on these, but it really did the trick. It worked really well. All of these. Oh. See, I couldn't see them, I guess, from that other angle. Right, so the one's done. Let's see here. Black silicon panel. We have enough. Dark gray silicon panel. None. It's 8 more left to go. Has a few. Darker environment makes this a little bit harder too. Right. Oh, there's a piece. Right. I think that's everything. We shall see. Yep. Got it. All right. So there are 2 of them down. I have, gosh, what did I build? Like 8 of those? So I have like 6 more of those to find wherever they're at and go and grab them. Yeah. So, yep. Yeah, Lipo, thank you for the comments. Yeah. All right, so it's all working now. I do, I guess I don't have any more ships to tear apart here, so probably, putting them in their proper spots is not nearly as hard as it was taking it apart. If ship is DRM, you cannot make a blueprint of it, correct. Unless you are the original creator of it. I still have some elements here. Guess I missed those. Maybe I didn't scroll up far enough. Okay. Those are pulled apart. I have these right here. I was working on 2 of these. I still have some parts I need. And so I haven't gotten those done yet. Those are just little shuttles. I almost hesitate to build them right now, given that, you know, we're maybe about to have this reduction in cores and it's going to count against me. But I don't know. All right, I'm stepping away for just a moment. Be right back. Right. So, what I'm missing on this? There's linked container, and then this adjuster S. Hatch S. Rare military atmospheric engine, medium. Yeah, I'm gonna end up having to go buy a couple of things. Okay. Now, I wonder... I wish I had more of the big containers. The XL containers. It's kind of like, I want to build some new ships right now that are, you know, going to meet the needs of the next release. But it's hard to know exactly what those are. I'm thinking about it. My territories here. Make sure that everything's got enough funding. Yeah, everything's fine. I don't have any more tiles that need to be taken apart. I do have, you know, for reducing numbers of stuff, I have one unused space station. Actually, I have a couple. There's the one space. Remember our original space station we built at Jago? It's using a core. We don't have any way to see the number of cores yet for each org. Yeah, we have that really old space station that, you know, was really cool when it was built. But then we had the problem with that one where it would always slide off. See, it was built so that it could view the planet. Yeah, party bus days. Yeah, it was built so that it could view the planet, and which meant that landing on it was extremely difficult because you'd always slide off. And so what needed to happen to make that kind of stuff happen is to use two cores. And so you would use like top deck of one core and then lower deck of a core that's tilted, so that when you entered that deck and you got onto a straight thing, then it could view down below, but you wouldn't land on that deck. And and that still could be added on to that, you know, an upper deck that's at the proper alignment. But yeah, that out there, I have not used that station in quite a while. I don't even know if there is. I don't think I have anything still up there. I think it's empty. Maybe I should check though. Let's go check it. Switch counts here. I have a character that's over there. I can check it with. So check that out. We'll see what ship I got down here that I can fly up there. This base is all kind of tattered because we pulled it apart for the big thing of stuff getting buried. And so, and this was our old shop. There's a bunch of structures out here, you know, that can go away. Like the scaffolding here, example ship here. So some of these cores, the landing deck out here, I suppose can go away. If I have to reduce cores. Hey Lioneer, how's it going, buddy? To reduce a few more out here, just keep that stuff there, land everything else in the yard. Here's all those little dragon ships. What's the reducing cores about? I mean, it's a performance thing or server cost thing. It's really long and complicated, Linear. If you go on YouTube and watch the beginning of the show, I spent more than a half hour talking about it. So, only compact constructs that I own. Okay. Yeah, but basically they're going to reduce the number of cores and how core assignments work. So, all right, let's see what we got here on this. Good, we have a good. Okay, so constructs, and then Dragon's Assembly Alioth, Dragon's Lair. Right, so this is where we're gonna go. I got fuel. Well, this isn't telling me if I have fuel. Why isn't it telling me my fuel? I'm gonna assume I have fuel. Because that tank is full. Bill, close on the house. It's not, I don't have it yet. Pretty close though. I won't say we got it till we got the keys. be on the 18th. 3 weeks. The other thing I did in one of my places is I just flattened out, instead of using another core, and this was before they mentioned all this new core stuff, instead of using another core for parking area, I just flattened out the ground. I just picked a spot and flattened out a big area where I can land everything. The only thing is it doesn't draw right the further away you are. You look like you're about to fly inside a mountain, and then it clears up. Oh, am I going to be able to even land on this thing up here? God, I guess it's good I brought a smaller ship, because it's so hard to land on this. I don't know if I have. Yeah, I have some downward thrust. Okay. Haven't I tried New World? Show me something new and innovative in it. New World only in name. There's nothing really too new about it. We'll start seeing the station here soon. God, why don't I see it yet? There it is. Say the same thing about Crowfall. Well, Crowfall has a little bit different thing about the Throne War stuff and everything. And see, Crowfall came out well before New World, and New World used some of the same systems as Crowfall. So that's why there's nothing new and innovative in it. Right. So landing on this thing, see how it's all pointed up here. It's quite a challenge. And I used to catch them down below in here, but that actually is quite a difficult task. New World is dead already. Well, so is Crowfall, unfortunately. I mean, neither one of them are completely dead, but Crowfall is gonna have a rebirth, let's say. I'm looking forward to that. I wanna try it out, but you got to get there. Okay, let's see here. right. Made it up here. Is there anything in here? Okay, let me just connect up to this. I don't think that I have anything in here. I mean, I could strip all this honeycomb out. Stuff. Oh, that's... I thought that was a jump pad. Right? Guess not. Yeah, it's all cleaned out. I took the lights and everything. Hello, Bento. So, I necessarily want to just abandon the core, but maybe that's what I should do. This thing is a special transport ship up here. Kind of interesting. My favorite ship designs. That's one of them right there. It's not my ship, though. This thing here, I built this hexagon thing here. See where the entrance is to it. They used multiple cores in here and you float around something. I don't remember. Remember we thought it was pretty cool when it was first built. There's some factory up here stuff. I don't know if we even have access to it. I think all of Dragon's assembly does. You could have it do your ore and everything. There's no schematics in it. Yeah, none of this stuff has been updated in a long while. And who even owns it? Ship scales. So much for putting honeycomb to market. People are going to stop building now. Oh, you know, Eternal Alpha. Fuck. Why'd you have to be so right on that statement? You know how cool this was to be able to sit out here and see the planet and stuff. This was really cool at the time. Little did we know that placing it in this orientation would cause us so much problems with landing our ships. What is this made out of? Aluminum. I don't know. I hate to just abandon the core, but I could do that. Or I could pick it up. It's just a medium core, I think. Yeah, it's a medium space core. Yeah, I didn't even think about that, about the honeycomb stuff. Maybe I'm not even going to put that on the market right now. I'll just get it all ready and do it later. Man, that kind of sucks. This space station have the hammer ships parked in? No. I mean, I've had some of them parked in here before, but... Alright, nobody's using this space station anymore or anything, so... guess we're done with it. Wonder if I have anything else here on like... Just looking to see if I have anything scattered on the planet here. It's not at my base. The dumb large core up there. That's another space station. It's my other space station. All right. Static constructs. The taco. You're the Thunder Childs. Right. I don't have anything left over, so it's all good. DIA Skylab. I have that too. Well, that's going to go away. All right. Yeah, so Um, the whole thing with the reduction of cores, it's going to cause a huge glut in the market of parts because people are going to deconstruct their stuff and then want to sell it, or they're not going to buy because they have a bunch of extra stuff. It's kind of a shame how this stuff affects the economy and you don't even think about it. So, yeah, if they put this in right away, we're headed toward a period of excess in the market, which is going to cause a lot of stuff to go down in price. We probably won't have an excess of fuel. Um, yeah, so larger cores might be needed on the market. That could be true. Because people then decide, okay, so I'm going to take these 10 small factories I got and put them on one large core. Um, the fuel would still be needed, but like honeycomb, there's going to be a lot of extra honeycomb. People will still need specialty stuff though, stuff they don't have when they're doing new builds. Especially if they're deploying a blueprint, then they're at the mercy of whatever the person who originally designed it is putting together. You know, like me, I always found myself getting red polished steel or something like that. Always needing to make a little bit of that for the guardrails for all the stuff, all those elevators, and because I never made that for myself for any of my builds. So yeah, I don't know. There's going to be a glut of engines, of honeycomb, of smaller cores. Um, will abandoned core help server load? Core is still in the database. Yeah, well, you abandon it like I abandoned this one I'm sitting on right here. Somebody will come by and want to collect all the voxels and stuff. So, um, I'm just being too lazy to do it. There it is. There is the space station. So, is my project of doing the honeycomb stuff, is it still valid? Yeah. But I don't have the same urgency on it, that's for sure. I can just get it all ready and then when the time is right, put all the stuff on the market. Something like that. Extra fuel. I think people still need fuel. People still need ore. It's going to slow that down a little bit too. Open out a customer here real quick. Comedy landings. Yeah, well, I haven't been up there in quite a long time, so that's why I went ahead and abandoned it, get it off books. So floating down here. Yeah, the deconstruct core option would be much better now, huh? You're exactly right. There's just a little landing. I'm trying to get a little bit more speed going down, but speed up on its own, I guess. So I guess that if I needed to reduce cores more, I take my characters that if each one of them gets 17, put the ships under personal names, and then share them out to my org. Anyone can salvage that destroyed space core, yes. So basically, what you can do is you can pick up all the honeycomb right now, and then if you repair that space core, then you can pick it up. But you have to take all that honeycomb out first. The mining unit per tile gotten larger, it remains 5 per. There's no limit to how many mining units you can use per tile. There never has been. It's just a limit to the resources and how many of them you can effectively turn on. Does this game offer more than mining, building, and transporting? Yeah, there's PvP, which is in its infancy right now. It has updates coming for that too. And there's a lot of commerce in the game. And such. Mining, building, transporting. Yeah. It's definitely solid on those. It's got drama too. Yeah. Too bad a lot of it's self-inflicted. Dev-induced drama, yeah. It is kind of how I feel about it. It's like the parachute landing in the latest version. It's terrifying. That sounds kind of fun. Yeah, I haven't updated yet, so I will. Just haven't done it yet. Content looks the same as a year ago. No, it's nowhere near the same. This right here may look the same, but yeah, it's nowhere near the same.
Shield deactivated.
It wasn't on this ship. It's on another one. What I got going here. I just entered the safe zone. I forgot that I was still flying. It scared me. Do a fly over the island here. See if there's any abandoned stuff. I have quite the right radar for this. Or down here. This one I've seen before. Oh, did the game just lock? No. Bit over here. Oh, that's floating out on the water. Probably a large static. I don't see anything else with it though. So like, it'd be hard to grab because I'll bet you that the water is pretty deep here. Bill, it's time for your nap. All right. Christopher, yep, things are going good. Hey, Flo. Yeah, I'm looking for cores. I saw one back there. Your cores are offshore. You have cores out here? Those two cores back there, they're not accessible. I mean, they are, but They listed under your name. Ones you abandoned yesterday. Dark side. I don't know where you're at. Minor. This one here, Mighty Minna. I think I saw that already. I think we looked at that. Somebody had already stripped it all. I believe. Yeah, I think somebody's already picked it all up. There was one static core out here. Getting a lot of jitter here. Yeah, I think somebody claimed the cores and is pulling them apart. Is there a link in the game on your website that gives free stuff if you use your link? Well, !DU if you're wanting to get into the game. I don't know, does it give anything? Gives me a little spiff. Gives you anything. There was a core out here. There it is. Let's see what that is. Oh, you do get some stuff if you join with referral code. 1 million talent points. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, that makes it totally worth it doing that, doesn't it? Well, this thing is underground. Somebody own this land? Yep. There's something underground there. Can't get to it. Right, head back to base. What about cores on Sanctuary? I think it's cores in general. I don't think there's no distinction between Sanctuary and any place else on the cores. There's no free trial. No, maybe there will be in the future, but there's no free trial right now. I've been flying around in this thing. This thing's real good for scoping things out. So are these, actually. Oh, there's Charlie. Charlemagne. God. I always have troubles with it. Nice ship. Yeah, it's one of them I designed. I'm not a great designer. You know, I'm just okay at it. But that is a very functional, good ship. It works very, very well. So, my wife and I designed this one. It's like a big barge. It works pretty good too. Actually, that's what I go around and collect all the ore with. So, all right, well, I think I'm done here. Not much more for me to do. I don't think I need to take another load up to the space station. I don't know, what have I got here? I could take a load to the space station. I do have more stuff here to take up. Quite a bit more stuff here to take up. Frank, you gonna get rid of a ship and a structure on Jago? Yeah. Wow, that almost filled it. Smaller stuff. Yeah, random core will go abandoned. Isn't that crazy? Actually, let's do about 30 of these here. Just in case I wanted some more space. I got aged gray pattern iron, galvanized light gray aluminum. That iron's going to be heavy. Can't even get all of it. An enormous amount of it. Go up to the space station, take a load up there. Would be the thing to best mass produce and sell on the market? I don't know. I've been trying to figure that shit out myself. Cells, people undersell them on the market. They sell, a lot of times it goes for less than the cost of producing them. But if you were to populate markets that were out, you know, rural markets, that could work. Fuel prices are so low. Yeah, I don't know what it costs to make fuel and stuff. Something I want to look at. a space station. That could be too. Produce stuff that there's buy orders for that you can make a profit selling too. There's room for more stuff up there. In fact, this guy right here has a load from the station there. Thinking about how this core reduction is really going to affect the market, and I really hadn't thought about that. I might just have to go and try and sell my stuff on the market anyway, and if I lose some money trying, well, I've tried. That might be the answer. Not sure. Seems to be a future bestseller. Yeah, could be. Could be that you're not the only one that thinks of that too. How about create a trade space and charge a fee to buy and sell there? We've talked about that before. We had a marketplace here, in fact, but
oh
we
yeah,
have the tools
another
necessary to
dragon
make it
boarding
successful.
the train. All aboard!
Bah.
Choo choo.
75 Mon HDs of fun smiley face.
Mon HDs. All right. How about 4,500 gold for that 75 months of fun? Aw, thank you. 4,500 gold to everybody. Yes, very nice. That here. This, and I'm like, there is so much stuff here. You can get it all. Look at another load up. One more. these towers that have all these cores, yeah, they're all going away. Better just have one elevator than have a space platform. No space between the exclamation point and raid. Follow me. Reminds me of Populous, Little Planet. I don't know if you ever played that. They didn't kill AGG, it's just people are using Eternal Alpha, people are using sometimes 50 cores for those space towers, you know, to get up into space. And people aren't going to want to keep those if they do this core reduction like they're talking about. Down we go. Running by and stop and say hello. She's like, I'm busy. I got places to go. Why'd you stop me? All right. And she's gone. Move trip. All right, I think that everything else I have here is oh, no, I have, well, let's see, what is this? Is this stuff to build? No, this is all stuff to take with me too. No, there's some soil here. Yeah, I don't need no soil. Yeah, this is from a base I stripped. Forgotten about that. Failed to move some items, huh? What do we got left over here? Quite a bit of stuff. Okay. All right. More containers freed up. This right here, this has stuff for putting together 10 more mining platforms if I should decide to do so, or 9 more. Yeah, that's all the parts I need for them. I haven't needed to out here, but you know. That out here. And that stuff would be for making fuel, but we don't need it out here. Look at that. There's a whole nother load there. Wow. Dirt will have value now? Yeah, so on Ion, I put 1 core down to put some containers down on it. And then after that, flattened out the ground, flattened out a mountaintop. Yeah, as a landing space. That's 4 loads. This is the 4th load taken up. Yeah, this core thing is a little bit disappointing. I still keep trying to think about what effects it's going to have. And it's going to have an effect on the market too, just like you guys are saying. They're sending me more documents to sign. for mortgage. Ugh, the stress of it all. Alright, well, it looks like I got more mortgage stuff to do, so let's do final call on the giveaway. And then we'll do that and then call it a day. Tomorrow should not be interrupted by the mortgage stuff because I don't think they're working on the weekend. So anyway, the giveaway is a 30-day code for Dual Universe here. And you can use it to extend a current account or to create a new one. And it's a free entry, so everybody can get in on that. And I'll draw after I get back down to Planet. That cold front coming in. Whole East Coast does. Even here in Florida. It's going to be freezing here tonight and tomorrow, which is super rare. House that we're buying, where it's at, it's going to be 22. It's a bit north of us. It just gets really a lot colder as more north you go. And it's in Florida. 22 in Florida. Yeah. I asked the seller agent to go to the house and turn off the water and drain the pipes. Yeah, he's turning off the water and draining the pipes, so. Right, has everybody got their entries in? So I'll be really happy when we got this house stuff done. Gosh, I'll be happy about that. So, yep, the house is gonna be great. It's gonna be really good. And it's just gonna be so good to have a place of our own. So, all right. There are your final entries coming in. I'll read off the game name, Twitch name, YouTube name, whatever name you put into that box that said for your name and any message. And if you didn't put that in, I'll read your real first name and just last initial so that you know who you are if you hear it, but you still remain anonymous. And then you will get an email from our store. And that email will be a reply to the email you got confirming your entry. And I'll have code in it and instructions and everything. So, all right. Congratulations to, they didn't put their name in there. It's Michael S. Who says, "Hi Marky, thanks for the great stream." So, all right, you're welcome. And there you go. You are the winner. All right. So When do I see myself moving again? Well, it'll be after the 18th. So we'll probably start doing that. Oh, it's Karos. That's you. All right. Well, congratulations, Karos. So most excellent. Yeah. Anyway, so I'll probably end up taking like a week off the shows to get a bunch of stuff moved, but we got a few repairs to do and everything. Yeah, Tenchi, we're buying a house. So, and so we close on the 18th. And so, yeah, it's just north of Utenchi. So, yeah, we'll definitely have you guys over. So, okay, that's it, everybody. Take care. I'm gonna go do house paperwork stuff that they're requesting of me, and then I will see you all tomorrow.